If you haven't watched the first video to the series, go watch that first. You wouldn't watch Back to the Future Part 2 without watching Part 1, would you? It just wouldn't make any sense.
Tab with a synthetic sundown, 45 minutes till the shit set it.
So if you've been on the internet lately, I'm sure you've run into these dudes who spend their whole advertising and marketing budget prying on your hopes and dreams. And if you're like me, you've bit into that apple.
It just did things just a little bit differently than the norm, and it made an impact.
And talk about how you're gonna. Fuck you're gonna. Go do it. Do shit.
Yes!
Fuck yeah, I'm doing this! Thanks, Gary V, for the motivation.
It's a granola bar, but I didn't want to go to the store to go get one. All for maybe like 30 minutes, and then you get distracted because of an Instagram notification, and then your friend hits you up and they're like, hey, want to go out? And you're all like, yeah, I'll go out. So then you wake up the next morning, and all that motivation you had is gone. So you gotta watch another motivational video to get you going.
Student, all you want to do is read and consume and ponder and make pretend.
You see, the problem is that these people are already where you and I want to be. So they forgot all the small micro steps that they took to actually be where they are. They remember how they climbed the hill, not the feelings of anxiety or self-doubt that they felt when they just took that small next step. They forgot the little questions that they asked themselves. What if it doesn't work out? What if I look stupid? What if I fail? What if I'm not really good enough? Those thoughts still run through my mind all day. I'm even asking myself if I should even put out this video because people might think I'm stupid. So what would I do when I found myself fighting with doubt? I'd cave in. I'd push things off all the time, lying and telling myself I'm still motivated, but I would get distracted at every turn.
Giving away this Tesla.
And it's about a Tesla?
So I recently made something to help me stay on track. This is my manifestation board. Not a vision board, manifestation board. Derek's manifestation board. So yeah, you got your basics. I mean, Tesla, Roadster, gotta have it. A nice beach home, you know, basic. Multiple streams of income, that will be in a later video. Maybe way later, we'll see. I've always wanted to live in a densely populated city, so that's gonna be my New York, Manhattan apartment. The new Indian Scout. Oof. And then I wanna take my family with all that, but down here, this is the secret sauce.
Power of our own behavior. Yeah. So this guy was a high school student who was a fuck up, right? And he was struggling and he was about to get kicked out of high school. So if you could do it wrong, he was doing it. But in the 80s, there was a test, and a lot of people would know it, called the SAT. And the SAT, it's been modified since, but back then it had two parts, math and verbal, 800 points. He promised his mom he would take the test. Okay, so he takes the test, he expects nothing, but he takes it for his mom. And he takes it in May, gets his score back in June, and to the surprise of everybody, he gets a 1480 out of 1600. So his mother, as I shared with you, doing what any mother would do, she said, did you cheat, right? Because she knows her son and he must have cheated because the score isn't in alignment with who he was. Yeah. Or in psychological terms, it would be called cognitive dissonance, right? Where you see an outcome that's different than who you think you are. Yeah. He said he tried to cheat, right? But the spacing of the chairs was too much. The numbers were too small on the number 2 pencil that he literally took the test. She said, you mean to tell me you're that smart? He said, all I can tell you is I took the test. So he's fucked up, but he also recognizes like, oh, I might be smart. Yeah. So now he's weaponized in a different way. So because he thinks he's smart, he says, because I'm smart, I'm gonna go to class as a senior. He's still enrolled. Well, now he goes to class. He doesn't hang out with who he used to when he didn't go to class.
Yeah, the dumb kids, because now he's a smart kid.
Right?
Yeah.
And so teachers see him and said, you know what, maybe we missed the boat on him. Right? So he graduates, goes to a community college, goes on to a 4-year, and then ultimately goes on to the Ivy League. And as the story is told, becomes one of the top most successful magazine entrepreneurs. So you hear like, okay, well, obviously he had the gifts. He just had never unlocked them. And this test just caught him on a good day, and he got behind the real gifts he had. And he says, no, that's not the story. He said, the story starts 12 years later. I get a letter in the mail from Princeton, New Jersey. Don't think anything about it. And next day, his wife says, you're going to open it. He opens it. Well, it turns out the SAT board, which is true, which happens every year, reviews their test-taking procedures and policies. The year he took the test, he was one of 13 people, sent the wrong SAT score.
Yeah.
The actual score was a 740 out of 1,600. And as my dad would say, the whole crowd gasps, right? The whole crowd gasps. And he says, people want to say it's the 1480 that changed my life. When in true, acting like a 1480 is what changed my life. And what does a 1480 do? They go to class.
Yeah.
Why are you boil? Why?